everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight and welcome to the ninth Positively Disney phone-in show. I can't believe it's 9 already. Where does the time go? And I'm really excited because the last two shows, we actually hit over 1,000 viewers. So thank you for that. Thanks for tuning in and checking it out. And may I remind you that I set up this show for you guys. This is an opportunity for you to share a fun, positive Disney experience or story. I know all have had some wonderful stories, and I wanted you to take the time to share with us and give yourself a voice. If you'd like to call in tonight, the number to call is 844-483-4763. And I'm Kimberley Bouchard. I'm the author of the Positively Disney book series. And I'm presently writing the romance edition, which I have some really interesting stories with that. And I've also got the fourth edition on the go as well. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. I do have a little bit of a special guest. You have been introduced a little bit to my family, who are just amazing support and help behind the scenes and the front scenes. Anybody that knows me knows that I love animals, and I have several. And I was curious to know if any of you have ever named one of your pets after a Disney character. We actually have three different pets, three different species of animals that are named after Disney characters. And I'd like to introduce you to one of them tonight. And this is our littlest dachshund, and his name is Morty. And his name comes after Mickey's nephew. One of Mickey's nephews is named Morty, and he's really dear to our hearts, and just love him to bits. And as you can see, the ugly dachshund poster in the back, I'm a huge dachshund lover. Have three little miniature dachshunds and a golden retriever. Thinks she's one. We also have two birds, a bunny, and a fish. And so anyways, this is Morty. He's one of our family members. I have another animal named Disney, who is a little cockatiel, and he's absolutely lovely. And then we have another animal, a bunny, a lop-eared bunny named Oswald, the lucky rabbit. And I'll introduce him to you one day as well. I can't really introduce you to the cockatiel, but anyway, so this is little Morty, and he's a lovely, lovely soul. And I'll just pass him off to the side here. So yeah, I'd be curious to know if you have any Disney names for animals. And I just want to say hello to my friend Emma Napier. She is all the way from the UK. She's at Walt Disney World right now, and unfortunately having a difficult time phoning in to the podcast off of her UK cell phone. And I'm not sure how to help her out to call in. And she's actually got a lovely family of 3 children and her husband, and they're very fortunate. They get to frequent Walt Disney World a lot, and their little girl is featured in one of the books called Gaston's Little Belle, and Daisy is their youngest, and she has a real affinity for Gaston. And just a lovely family. At any rate, if you have a pet named after a Disney character, let me know. I'm kind of curious. As I said before, I'm actually writing the romance edition for the Positively Disney book series. And a really interesting kind of thing happened this week when I was writing 2 of the stories. And as I was writing, I just randomly pick the stories that I want to write. There's no particular order. But one of the stories that I wrote this week, I actually wrote it on the exact wedding date of the couple I was writing about. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then there was another story that I wrote that it was the week of the wedding anniversary of the couple. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I let them know that I had been writing their stories, and really love doing what I do, not only the podcasting, but the writing. And I get to meet so many people and say hello to so many different folks out there. And this afternoon, I had a lovely interview with someone that is going to be in the fourth book. Some of you may know him as the voices of Disney. Not too sure. He's a lovely young man named Brian Hull, who had something go viral. The Let It Go was the song that he sung with 50 different Disney voices, and that went viral. And it's a really cool story, the way that turned out, and why that even got posted onto YouTube. That'll be my fourth book. But while we were speaking, I heard from Goofy, Winnie the Pooh, Donald Duck, and can't remember, there's a few others, and it was really fun to be actually talking to someone, and then I hear all these really interesting voices. At any rate, that's just, I wanted to share that with you because I'm really looking forward to all the stories in the next two books that are coming out. So the February one will be in soon. Oh, I've got a caller coming in right now. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim. It's Monica Pinto from the Mouse in Our House podcast. How are you?
Hi, Monica. I'm very well, thank you. And you managed to figure out how to call in, did you?
I did. I just can't figure out how to hear the show.
Oh, okay. I can help you out with that after. Oh goodness. Can you tell everybody where you're calling from, Monica?
I am calling from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, that's lovely. And now you said mouse in the house, and if you could tell our listeners what that represents, that would be really fun.
Well, the name actually came to me because every Christmas for the holidays, we hide Mickey Mouse throughout the house, and I have my daughter look for it. So instead of doing Elf on the Shelf, we do Mouse in Our House. So when we started the website and the podcast, it seemed like a fitting name to just call it the Mouse in Our House because we're always trying to get a little bit of Disney in our house every day in some way.
Oh my gosh, I love that. When do you start doing that?
August of 2014, we started with the website first and with the blog. And shortly after that, I want to say a couple of months later, we had the opportunity to start our own podcast. So okay. We did.
Yes.
And we are, almost 3 years in now.
Oh, awesome. Well done. Oh my gosh. I wish I had actually a little tiny elf from my childhood that I had, but we didn't hide him anywhere. But that's a great idea. I love that. Have you ever not found Mickey? Or has it taken?
No. Well, the person that moves him around sometimes is overtired by the time it's time to move him around.
Yeah.
Or, it's just become way too much. So he's always pretty much in an obvious place.
Okay, well that's
Sometimes he's hanging from the tree limbs, or sometimes he's hanging from the chandelier.
Oh.
I think one time he was in the refrigerator on a gallon of milk or something,
oh.
But it doesn't get too crazy.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's great. So how long have you been, I know you've been podcasting for a few years now, but have you been a regular at the parks and that, or how did you find your love, or what is your, I guess, one of memorable experiences with Disney?
Well, when we were young, my sisters and I, my father came home one day and said he was taking us to Disney World. So he loaded us all into the Chevy Impala, and we drove down from New Jersey to Disney World. And Main Street for me, and the Pirates of the Caribbean, and Carousel of Progress, and the World Showcase, it was so beautiful to me.
Yeah.
I had never been anywhere like that, and it was so beautiful. And so over the years, maybe I took a few trips, 2 or 3 trips after that down to the world. And when my daughter was 3, we decided, this is our first family trip.
Hmm.
We're going to take her on there. My husband had never been either. And so I think once I saw her interacting with the characters and I saw her look of amazement at the different things that she was taking in, I became addicted to it. Like I wanted that feeling all the time.
Oh,
So we were lucky for about 4 or 5 years. We were going every year.
okay.
This will be our 3rd year not going now. So I am definitely suffering from the Disney withdrawals.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping to get back there soon.
Oh, that would be lovely. Well, at least you can bring it into your house, though.
Yes.
That's so fun. I love that idea, and you might have started a new trend, Monica.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Oh,
Any way I can help.
yeah, no, that's absolutely lovely. I really enjoyed that. When I was growing up, and I don't know how old you were when you went to your first visit, but I mean, we didn't have a lot of Disney stuff in Canada. We had The Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday nights. And of course, if a movie came out in the theater, which they didn't come out in the theaters as often as they do now. Right. And so,
Right.
so I had no idea that I would be ever in a Disney withdrawal, as you say, until you actually go there and
Oh, my goodness.
become a part of it. Right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And isn't it nice that there's people that you can see and kind of be live vicariously through their lives, the ones that live close
Yes.
to Disney. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And Facebook is such a good tool for that. I've made so many friends, not only through our own Facebook page, but also through the other Facebook pages that are rampant out there.
Yeah.
So it's always nice when someone goes on a trip and they're posting their pictures because, especially when you haven't been down there for a while,
Yeah.
it's nice to see the familiar sights and, it's just nice. And it's always nice to see someone else enjoy Disney, especially if it's a child for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I know it's really, it's amazing the ages that people get to Disney for the first time. And it's interesting too, because it's an opportunity for the kid and everybody to come out. I don't care if you're 80, 90, 100 years old, because I've met people that age that have gone to Disney, for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh.
Definitely.
And Monica, if somebody wants to listen to your podcast, I want you to be able to share that with others. So how could people find you?
Okay, well, we have the website www.themouseinOurhouse themouseinOurhouse.com. I don't do this very often.
That's okay.
So they're posted there. They can also find us over at our Facebook page. I post all of the episodes there as well, and that would be Facebook/The Mouse in Our House.
All right.
And of course, you can always find us on iTunes and Podbean and Stitcher.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So that I just always like to anybody that calls in, if they have a blog or a podcast or something, I want to share that with everybody because that's what it's all about. It really is,
Absolutely. The Disney community is wonderful for sharing everybody's, what they have going on. So it's wonderful. I love to reciprocate and always do the same. And I wanted to tell you, I love your book. Oh. Congratulations on the book. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It's very, very inspirational. There were definitely a couple of stories in there that brought tears to my eyes. But we will be discussing that because you have graciously accepted my invitation to come on our show.
Yes.
So you will be coming on soon and we'll talk all about your book.
Sounds great. Oh, that's great, Monica. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. And I look forward to, that's around the corner. That's just next month, actually, a few weeks from now. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
All right. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Take care. Have a good night. Thanks for calling.
You too. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. So, Monica, is another person that I met on the Disney Facebook pages, and there's so many of you guys out there that are absolutely just lovely, lovely folks. Oh, I've got another caller coming in. Let's give this a whirl. Hello, welcome to the show. Who am I speaking to?
It's Emma, Kim.
Oh my gosh. This is Emma, the Emma that I didn't think was going to be able to call in. She's from the UK and presently in Walt Disney World. It's so good to hear from you.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Very good. Having a lovely time.
Ah, gosh. I am so excited for you to share some of the things you've been up to because I have seen Daisy in all her glory. Holy cow. So please share with us about what about the attire that she's been wearing and the people she's been meeting.
Yeah, different people in different attire every day. Yeah, she's bought her about 10 different costumes this time.
Holy cow.
It's what she enjoys most about the parks is seeing the characters, and she likes being all dressed up in the correct costumes to meet these characters. And yeah, the interaction she's had so far has been fantastic.
Yeah. That's amazing. And for our listeners, this is Daisy, the little one I was talking to you about. It's featured in one of the books as Gaston's little belle. Emma, can you tell them about the latest edition, that really, really special dress, that the glow in the dark one?
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, she was lucky enough to get made another outfit by Designer Daddy, who's a really good friend of ours, and she wanted a colour change in Princess Aurora Sleeping Beauty dress. It would change from pink to blue, and so he made the most fabulous dress and put about 1,200 lights inside it, and yes, so it can change from pink to blue, or it can be both. And she wanted to wear it night before last, see Phantasmic, because obviously it's going to be dark then, and you'd get the full effect of the light.
Brilliant.
And the amount of people that commented on her dress, I mean, it was crazy.
I can't even imagine. How in the world, how does it change? I have no concept of how that works, actually.
It's literally just little switches. She's got about 8 little packs in her pocket.
Okay. So
simple idea, but the effect is pretty amazing. So.
Wow. That's absolutely amazing because I think she's kind of one of a kind there. I don't think anybody else has a color changing dress. I wouldn't imagine.
I've not seen one before. No.
That is fantastic. And did she have, tell us about some of the other dresses that she brought along? Because I know that I've seen a few, but I haven't seen all of them. That's for sure.
Well, she's got a brand new Mary Poppins dress that he, Designer Daddy, made for her, which is pretty much as accurate as you can get to the Walt Disney Parks Mary Poppins dress.
Really? Okay.
In hat and parasol and everything.
And she met Mary Poppins in that, didn't she?
She did, and I think Mary Poppins was quite taken back by how accurate the dress was, and the fact that she was obviously English speaking as well.
Right, of course.
Here in England, I think she was. Yeah, it just worked perfect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so neat. And I know she has her I guess everyday belle dress again that she wore for Gaston's meeting. Yeah.
Okay. That's one of her favorites. It's one of the more comfortable ones for her to wear.
Bet. Yeah. So is it hot at Walt Disney World right now, or comfortably warm, or?
It was, other than today. Today it's not stopped raining.
Okay.
Yeah, very humid.
Okay.
But she surprisingly is pretty good wearing the costume. She doesn't moan that she's hot or anything wearing the rest of
Okay. That was my next question. I was kind of wondering if they were kind of heavy to wear, or but you'd have to be very, very careful, I would imagine. Did she stay in them all day?
Most of the time she does, unless she wants to have a costume change to meet a specific character.
Okay.
Then
then we'll take a spare one out for her. But yeah,
Wow.
she had to be very careful eating in her white Mary Poppins outfit.
Oh yeah,
Put it
I
that
bet.
way.
Yeah. I bet. Oh my gosh. So what other costumes has she brought to meet the characters with?
She's debuting a Rapunzel outfit tomorrow morning at breakfast. The new breakfast at is it Trattoria al Forno?
Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Okay.
Boardwalk.
Yeah.
They meet Rapunzel and Flynn Rider and Eric and Ariel. And
Oh,
the dress is a bit too long for her to wear in the park. It's got quite a long train on the back of it.
okay.
So I thought this way she can at least meet some of the characters wearing her dress and hopefully get some nice pictures taken.
Yeah, that is so great. And how are the other kids doing? Because you guys didn't you go to a Halloween party? I think.
We've not gone yet. We're going in a couple of days' time.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be a whole new world for us. We've never done it before. Not sure what to expect.
Well, you
But
guys
the
all
kids,
have costumes though for it, I think, right? Yeah.
we do.
Okay.
Everyone's happy apart from me. I'm not happy with mine, but it's too late now.
Well, I know your sentiments on that, but if there's any consolation, most of us aren't happy in our costumes when we're our age, and it's dark in the park, so you know.
Yeah, I'll never have to see most of the people again. So if they're offended or anything, I don't have to worry
Oh
too much.
gosh. Oh, it's not that bad. You're going to have a great time. We've done the Halloween party. Well, we did it just recently, sort of last minute. And I wish I would have put more thought or planned it out a bit more. But the first time we went, we actually had, all these costumes. And I believe I hauled a bride, a dress from a vintage wedding dress. It was really heavy and had stuck spiders on it and had a wig and things like that. But I'll never forget. I think my husband went as Elvis or something like that, Elvis Presley, and my kids actually went as Elvis Presley for Halloween when we got back from the Halloween party in Walt Disney World. And I'll never forget them trick or treating, because back in those days we still trick or treated house to house. And this one lady said to my son, you're too young to know who Elvis is. And he said, oh, no, I've been to his house, actually, which is true. We did go and stop at Graceland, but it's really fun to dress up. And when we dressed up, there were not a lot of people that had dressed up. That was a long time ago. And now it's really taken off. Like you're almost sticking out like a sore thumb if you don't dress up in some sort of costume, But
Definitely.
oh, that's so good. And how long are you there for this time?
We've got about another week left.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, you got to make
Yeah.
the most of it when you're flying over the pond.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Thanks, Emma, so much for calling in. Everybody, I just want to tell you that Emma is so lovely. Their whole family is absolutely lovely. And unfortunately, when we normally podcast, it's what is it, about 2 a.m. over there, Emma? Something.
I think it's even later than that. I'm not quite sure.
It's a ridiculous hour that I don't expect anybody to get up and listen to my podcast or go on. So it really worked out well that their family happened to be here in our neck of the woods, so to speak, for this time. So that's great. Well, listen, you say hi to the family, and I will be speaking to you soon about a possible meetup with you at one point
Yes,
here.
definitely.
All right. Okay. Thanks
Okay.
again, Emma, for calling in,
Bye.
and take care, you guys. All right.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Oh gosh. Well, that was a nice surprise. I didn't think she was going to be able to call in tonight here. But anyways, that's just kind of showing you another person that a family that I got to know because of their story. And some of you may have seen the story about Daisy on one of the television stations about a year ago now. And Gaston took her for a little walk around the little courtyard there. And Gaston's actually one of my favorites. I still can't get over what he says and how he says it, because it's so bold and it's so brazen. It just makes me laugh my head off, actually, whenever I stop by and say hello. So I was just curious to know if any of you guys have ever had a Disney surprise visit. or if you have had your kids be surprised at a surprise visit. I'd be curious to know if you ever have. We've actually had three different kinds of surprise Disney visits. It was our daughter's friend's birthday, and her parents were really good friends with them. They're huge Disney fans. But when the girls were about 12 years old, it was her friend's 12th or 13th birthday now. We She didn't know, but we were actually going to be at Walt Disney World, and it was so much fun. The look on her face when she saw her best friend in the happiest place on earth showing up during her Disney vacation, and it was just a hoot and a half. We just had a lovely time with them, and so that was we were kind of the makers of the surprise for her friend. But we have surprised our kids actually a couple of times. And I'll never forget one Christmas when the whole Trivia Pursuit games were coming out, the Disney ones particularly. And we actually had put the the tickets, they were paper at that time, into the tin, the Disney trivia tin, and wrapped it up. And the kids saw that they got a family game for Christmas or whatever. And we made sure that they opened it, and then they saw that we had tickets, and we were leaving to Disney shortly after that. But I love those Disney surprises, and some of you guys out there will actually post them, and some of the reactions of the children are unbelievable, like just unbelievable, and their absolute joy on their faces. I've seen older folks that have never been to the park, but get a gift, and then they are I won't say hauled off to the park, but then they are brought to a park as well. It's really, really lovely. The one particular one that comes to mind for me is when my husband surprised me with a Disney trip. And at that time, we lived in Canada, and he kept it a total secret. I had no idea where we were going. I mean, I knew we were going somewhere, and my mom came over to help pack, and she was packing all kinds of weird gear, trying to put me off on a different thought path. At any rate, we had to switch in, I think it was Denver, Colorado. We transferred planes. And, but while we were going through customs, my husband went ahead and said, look, or security, let them know that we were, this was a surprise Disney visit. And the guy was great. He was really good about it. But anyways, they had told us about different connections while we were landing in Denver, and there was 4 possibilities. And so I had no idea until we actually got to our gate and we went. So that was really fun. We don't do that anymore, but any kind of surprise like that is really kind of fun, I think. Again, the number to call is 844-483-4763. If you'd like to call in and share a little bit about your Disney experiences or anything like that. I'm going to be able to take just one more caller if anybody wants to call in, and then I'm going to wrap up for this evening. And I was mentioning to Monica about my first experiences with Disney, which were not the Disney parks, because as I said, we lived in Canada, and a Disney park was not only really, really far away, but it wasn't really an affordable thing to do for a family of 6 from Alberta, Canada. And this one summer, though, when I was 12 years old, our family drove down. There was 5 of us at the time. We drove down to Disneyland through the Mojave Desert. I'll never forget, it was 120 degrees. We had no air conditioning, because air conditioning was sort of an extra that you really didn't need when you lived in Alberta, because we're under snow about 7 months out of the year. It was cooler to keep the windows up. So I remember that we stopped at every possible ice cream place. We drank a lot of pop all the way down there. And that was a trip that I will never forget, because it was not only a memorable experience getting down there, but we finally got to this place that we'd only just seen on television, and the castle was what really surprised me that it was there live. You could touch the castle. Something else that was a little bit eventful on that trip was that when we were on the People Mover, it broke down, and we were sitting there forever, and they actually had to come and take us off of the People Mover. So that was kind of interesting. And I also remember that particularly well because there was some boy that was wanting my attention down below, and it was a little nerve-wracking for a 12-year-old that had just arrived to California, and you always hear these rumors about these California boys. So I remember that particularly well. My second trip back to Disneyland, I was actually working in a daycare before I went to university, and the owner had this idea to bring the daycare to Disneyland in July. And I was, as I said, I was just before university, so I was 18 years old, and I was responsible for two 4-year-olds, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old in my room. And the whole time we were in Disneyland, of course, I had to hold onto 4 kids. So 2 on one side, 2 on the other. It was crazy. So I don't have many memories about that trip except trying to keep my brood from getting into trouble or getting lost or whatever. But I have had so many lovely experiences. And my husband actually is the one who introduced me to Walt Disney World. And, I've been very fortunate to go there fairly often. And Disneyland Paris was another adventure with my family. And it's very different. And I know some of you guys listening have been to Shanghai Disney, Hong Kong Disney, and that would be really neat to hear about that. I did hear, though, that we are actually going to be getting the Tron ride at Walt Disney World. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that because I wasn't too sure when I would get to Shanghai and Hong Kong Disney. I would like to one day, but there's a lot of things going on. So anyways, the number to call again is, I'm going to wrap it up here if I in a moment, 844-483-4763. And just to let you guys know that next week on Monday on the 30th, we're going to have kind of a Halloween special in the sense that I'm going to have you guys share some of your Halloween stories with me. And I do have a guest that will be coming on there. It's kind of got a very interesting story and that to share with us. At any rate, I think that we will wrap this up. I'm pretty excited. I'm actually going on a trip myself tomorrow. I'll be back Sunday morning, and I'm heading to New York City, which is a huge deal for me, what I'm going to be doing there. And very excited and have never been. So that'll just kind of be the icing on the cake to experience that. And where I am staying across from Times Square, the Statue of Liberty is right there out the window. So that I think is going to be a really cool experience. So until next week, you guys have a great week and stay safe. Take care. Bye for now.